August 9th, and Ty Gibbs has won his second race of his career in a thrilling comeback victory for Ty Gibbs. Had qualified well, ran well in the first stage, but then a caution, or it wasn't a caution, it was, I think, a stage break. Either way, he was in the pits, had a mishap, had a bad pit stop, and then had to fight his way back. We saw something kind of similar happen at North Wilkesboro, I believe. That kind of took him out of contention. But he came back. He ended up getting the win, fighting off his teammate Christopher Bell in a really, really good, about 20 lap, maybe even a little bit more than that, but at least the last 20 laps for sure, battle. Really good racing from both of them. Ultimately, Christopher Bell finishes second again. Poor guy feels and looks just dejected. So tough on him, but good for Gibbs, who gets his second win of his career, like I said, who has been really, really good at these types of tracks. And again, I can't say how much he has impressed me this year. I'm not a Gibbs guy. At least Ty Gibbs, I'm not really a huge fan of him, but I definitely can see that he has taken a step up. He's one of the most consistent drivers that we've had. He's been one of the best, one of the fastest. He's done really well with his equipment too, not like just kind of making a bunch of mistakes. I mean, look at today is a really good example. I mean, the way that he fought back and ended up getting the victory. So really, really impressive stuff by him. And he held off Ryan Blaney and I think it was maybe Kyle Larson. I'm forgetting who else it was at Bristol for that win. Then he held off Christopher Bell, who's very good, who's very hungry and had a really good car. Held him off as well to get his second win. So made for a really, really fun last couple laps. Outside of that, the rest of the race started off with a bit of a bang, literally, for Tyler Reddick and Eric Jones. Tyler Reddick, man, dude, I'd be panicking if I was Tyler Reddick. Rex lap like 1, 2, takes Eric Jones out. Now Eric Jones probably not going to make the chase, and Tyler Reddick is free falling, drops from second to fourth now, actually. Pretty early on, we saw that Ryan Blaney had jumped him after that, but then Ty Gibbs with his win is actually second now, which I'll get back to that in just a second. But Tyler Reddick, I mean, I don't know, 10 weeks ago, we were thinking there's no way this guy doesn't even, finish the regular season not as the leader in points. Now he's fourth. Just crazy turn of events as far as how much he's fallen, how much he's basically bleeding, and they've got to do something to stop the bleeding here soon. You do not want to go into the chase with this kind of negative momentum. Got to do something there. But as I said, Ty Gibbs has now jumped to second in points, and I'm going to say it, I think he's a real championship threat. Denny is obviously going to be the favorite, is still going to be the favorite, but we've seen time and time again how luck does not favor Denny Hamlin. And the races that we have in the chase and coming up of Richmond, New Hampshire, yeah, both of those seem like really good Hamlin tracks, but they're tracks that are short, flat tracks, and Ty Gibbs has proven to be one of the best at these tracks, so he can still continue to get good finishes. We don't know when that bad luck bug may come up to bite Denny Hamlin. I personally hope it doesn't. I would like to see him win one, but history has told us that there's a good chance that will happen. So Ty Gibbs, I am seriously thinking, is a legitimate championship threat. I mean, obviously he's second in points, but I think he has been so consistent, and that will, probably show through the chase as well. And I think there's some good racetracks on there. A Kansas, Bristol, where he got his first win. Gateway. Phoenix is another one that's a short, flat track. So there's a couple good tracks on there for Gibbs that I think, he can do well at and maybe get another win or two yet this season. We know how fast those Toyotas are and how fast those JGR cars are. It's not out of the question. So I think he is a legitimate championship threat. I will say that right now. The only thing that I could say bad right now about Ty Gibbs is those glasses. And that's going to make me sound like an old geezer. But those sunglasses he wears, it's got the little... Not it for me, homie. But you know what? You do you. You're a two-time winner in the NASCAR Cup Series, and I just post videos about it. So wear whatever you want, big dog. But on the other side of that, this is kind of feels like a missed opportunity for Ryan Blaney in a sense. I think he led like almost every lap in stage one or something or close to it. Denny Hamlin started way in the back, had some problems, some brake fears. Chase Briscoe, kind of the same thing, where he was worried about brakes. Seemed like this was going to be a good chance for Ryan Blaney and the Penske guys to, do what they do on these types of tracks and get some wins and run really well. And they did run well, but this felt like early on at least, this was going to be a Ryan Blaney race to win. Ends up coming back home third. Not a bad day. I mean, he's third in points now, so still a really good day. But I think a lot of us, obviously I've got the hat on. I'm a Blaney fan. Wanted him to win, thought he was going to win. But ultimately he didn't. Hard to beat those Toyotas. Even if it's not Denny Hamlin, there's still a lot of fast Toyotas out there, and you got to worry about every single one of them, because any single one of them, it seems like, can win any single week. So, but moving on to some other cars that kind of, had some really good runs that some of them have chase implications, some of them really don't. It was just nice to see them run well. Josh Berry had a fourth place finish. I think that's his second top 5 in a row. Finished top 5, I believe, in Indy as well, or at least the top 10. I know that much. So really good for him. I think he's still searching for a ride for next year, since he's not going to be back in that 21 car. So that's good to see. Ross Chastain had a 7th place finish, which is really good. Helps him continue to fight to get into the chase. Don't know if it's going to happen, but really good run by him nonetheless. AJ Allmendinger finished 8th. Austin Dillon finished 10th. Really good to see them run well, just with everything that's happened this year. I'm sure that 10th place feels a lot better than what most 10th place finishes would feel like. Connor Zilisch, we had a wreck. We had a wreck on lap 1, and guess who wasn't in it? Connor Zilisch. Pop the champagne. Well, no, don't, because you're like 17 or something. I don't know. So don't do that. Pop a candy bar, Connor, because you did it, man. Came home 11th place. Really good to see. And then Noah Gragson finished 17th. Another really good finish by him. He was up there on some strategy. Was like 2nd or 3rd or something at one point. So a lot of guys who had some good finishes who could really, really use some momentum. And then some of them, again, going towards that final push to get into the chase. Some guys who did not run well. I've got 2 panic buttons out right now. And if I'm either one of these teams, I'm hitting them with a sledgehammer. One is RFK. This track last year, they were so good. They were really good and consistent at the beginning of the year. Honestly, probably the best Ford team, I would say, at the beginning of the year. And they are just kind of out to lunch right now. Keselowski had trouble in qualifying. Buescher wasn't really as good as we'd expect him. He's kind of finishing, 9th to 15th lately, where before it was like a good 4th to, 8th. In the beginning of the year, Priest, we all expected him to be better at this track with it being a shorter, flat track. He was lapped pretty early on, just didn't have the speed. And then the other team that I would be smashing the panic button is Hendrick Motorsports. Everybody's talked about it. It's been very apparent because they are such a superpower team. 2 wins so far with Chase Elliott. And looking at the tracks that we have left, Richmond, New Hampshire, Daytona. Daytona maybe, but I don't see it happening at Richmond and New Hampshire. And really the rest of the tracks, you look at them and it's the Gibbs cars, or it's, even if it's not, you probably like a Phoenix or a New Hampshire or something. You're looking at, Ryan Blaney, the Penske guys. Martinsville, you're probably looking at Blaney and the Penske guys. So I think there's a good chance that we see Kyle Larson, William Byron finish the year without a win, both of them, and see Hendrick finish the year with less wins than Spire, which would be pretty crazy. But, or well, I guess it wouldn't be less, but at least tied. But, yeah. I mean, what a world we live in. But I would be smashing the panic button if I was them, because it has not seemed to get better. There was a little bit of hope there for a little bit, but they just can't get over that hump. And then right now, they just can't get the finishes either. Kyle Larson qualified well, but ended up not having the speed, kind of getting slower as the race went on. Ended up getting into a wreck that collected teammate Alex Bowman. Poor Bowman. Elliott had troubles with, like, in practice or qualifying, I forget which one, where he wrecked. Started way in the back. Had some strategy that put him up front to race, you know, for the lead, but was never really like a threat. And then William Byron's just out there logging laps. I mean, hasn't been terrible. I think he finished top 10, but he's can't get over the hump either. I'm sorry, I'm a pin clicker. I'm probably hearing all that, so I apologize. But yeah, I mean, he finishes, like I said, I think in the top 10, but never a threat, never really heard of him. He was not really a top 10 car. I think his average running position is probably going to be, you know, back in the teens. So, yeah, I'm panicking. If I'm a Hendrick fan, if I'm a Hendrick driver, RFK fan, I'm very panicked right now. But overall, Iowa, fine race. Like I said, a lot of strategy, but it was a pretty good end of the race. So, yeah, I would like to see Iowa back. I don't know if they need to not reconfigure it, but to, you know, put down a new I'm blanking. I'm getting tired. Like asphalt, new, whatever it is. Don't do it. Just leave it alone. Leave all the tracks alone. Just let them wear out and put up for good racing. But anyways, I would love to know, comment below, what are some of your takes of this race at Iowa? What did you like? What did you not like? What did you see that you thought, oh, that's interesting, or whatever? What's your takes? Comment below. I would love to know. Thank you for watching. If you're not already, please like, share, and subscribe and all of that jazz. I'll be back for Richmond bets on Thursday. So be looking out for that. And then if you don't already follow me on like TikTok, I do some short videos on there with some of my, with some more just kind of take type stuff. So yeah, I'm Eddie NASCAR. This has been the Post Race Takes Show. I'll see you next time.